So basically, Hathras, the incident happened. It was very tragic. Many people lost their lives. And we sent Rakhi then to cover it for the overlap section. But from there, Satish, who's the managing editor, he said that there is something about this, and then we kind of discussed it, and we thought maybe we should look at this Baba, this brand Baba. Who are they, what they are about, and why people follow them. And as a magazine, actually, we can do these kinds of stories in great detail, and as everybody now knows that Outlook is a thematic magazine, so we tried and sent as many people as we could.
First impression that we got was one of secrecy and guardedness. I mean, there are very tall walls. They don't actually look like typical ashrams, which have a more austere kind of effect. But these ashrams, Bhole Baba or Suraj Pal Singh Jatov's ashrams, they almost have a fortress-like appearance. They have tall walls, gilded gates, and the gates are usually locked, and there are armed personnel around the gates. So one can't enter very easily. I think secrecy is one of the first things that kind of meets you when you go to these ashrams. Yeah.
So I went to a local Brahma Kumari center in South Delhi. Since I was the only one present, the atmosphere was quiet, serene. On the both sides of the walls, I could see the gist of this sect's teachings, which comprised, a few photos of their religious head, Dada Lekhraj. There were some messages about the soul and the body and the connection between them and things like that. Shortly, I had a 2-hour-long chat with Brahma Kumari Didi.
And how did your interaction with Brahma Kumari Didi make you feel?
I'm not dismissing that interaction, although if it's something that would have gone on for quite some time, it perhaps would have had some kind of an effect on me. So that was that. Different people have different gods. If Satyajit Ray Saab comes today and talks to me about something, I'll be a convert in like 15 seconds flat.
When we visited the Rohini ashram, it was in fact being raided by the CBI, and it had lawyers who had come to see the women who still continue to go back in there. But it was such a fortress that we would not have known that there were any lawyers there. We would not have known that the authorities were there. It's a 4-story building. Every single window is covered with blackout sheets and also covered with iron grilled bars. So it's like a prison.
Well, I've always been intrigued by this Radhe Ma. I used to see the billboards. Way back, I think a few years ago, I was in Chembur and I saw this huge billboard of this lady in red, and it was a real estate advertisement, and I'm like, why is she there on this real estate? And so when we went there and we were asked to come to Borivali there's something called Radhe Ma Palace, and they have these life-size, maybe more actually, Greek gods that guard this place. The statues basically. It's quite odd. And then when you enter, there's a temple where like these 2 women were, doing some chanting. But the statue of the goddess was actually with this wig. It was not like Durga Ji, the traditional statue that we're looking at. It had a bob cut kind of hairdo. And then we go inside this massive house, which is like 4 stories, and there's a lift inside, and there are all these young girls over there who are wearing these bands. And we are ushered into this room where Radhe Ma's assistant Tali Baba is there, and a bunch of other people are there. So the interesting thing was that there was this video which was playing on loop about Radhe Ma's life and times and who Radhe Ma is, and it's like those promotional kind of videos where her father is talking about this miracle girl, her school teacher, and all of it. And then all these people who have been called to do this darshan, because it's a special darshan, it's not her usual satsang. So they start talking about these miracles that happened because of Radhe Ma, which was also operating in a very ambiguity space, in the sense that it could have happened otherwise also, but they were like attributing everything to Radhe Ma. More interesting thing was to be there in that space, and because they built up the suspense like this, that tonight one of us will be blessed. Radhe Ma gave us darshan at around 11:30, 12 in the night, and we were taken to the top floor where everything was red. There was this tapasya room, and you know how you have in the weddings these singhasans where the bride and the groom sit, like these gilded, like gold thing. So everything was like that, and there are these massive doors. We were ushered into this gufa, and we are in this line. But we are also made to wear these bands because we can't not. So we even said that we are journalists, we can't wear it, but because for the darshan, so you know there are those things that you have to do. So we go inside, and she's sitting on this bed, and she's holding this trishul. So we go there, and then there are several people there, and a lot of well-to-do people actually who are even some television actresses, things like, and the atmosphere is also very charged. You know, they're playing all these "Gufe mein rehne wali bata" songs and everything, and Radhe Ma is like sitting very quietly on this bed. So on the bed there was a chair kind of a thing where she was sitting holding this, and everybody has to go in line and seek the blessing. After that we are made to sit around her, and then the suspense thing begins. You know, who's she going to call? So she calls somebody, then she calls a photographer, and she places her hands like this, you know. So that was also very intriguing, and this whole word of kripa being thrown around. So I asked her, is this a lonely life? And she started crying.